The following is yet another high school sports presentation brought to you by the high school sports leader in North Texas, 92.1 FM KXEZ, the Possum.
This is 92.1 FM KXEZ. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Ethan Herrera alongside Scott Powell, set to bring you this 4A Division II non-district matchup between the Life Waxahachie Mustangs and the Caddo Mills Foxes. Foxes coming into this one 3-0, undefeated in the regular season, 13-0 going back to last season, and going up against the Life Waxahachie team who is 1-2 on the year. Sponsors for today's game here at Caddo Mills: Marsh Brothers Electric, Ivy Air, Belfiore Spa and Salon, Arboleda's Mexican Grill, and North Texas Appliance. When we come back, we're going to preview these Caddo Mills Foxes, these fantastic Foxes. When we come back,
I like that, fantastic Foxes.
Absolutely, here on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ, just about ready for game time here in a few minutes. And Scott, these Foxes has been amazing, and I mean amazing in the regular season over the past 2 years. Something has clicked with Coach Cody Crane as the head coach, and they have been unstoppable, really.
Yeah, they picked up right where they left off last year. Easy wins over Gainesville, 56-22. Bullard, a game we did here on 92.1. They beat them 44-20. Canton, 63-41. They are giving up some points. I mean, they've given up 22, 20, and 41 points, but they're averaging 51.7 points of offense, giving up 27.7. So, you know, if you see one area that they need to improve on, that'd be the defense probably. But they have no trouble moving the ball. Even though they only average 139 a game on the ground, they average 6.1 per carry. And then there's the 385 a game through the air behind the great talent of Jason Thomas. And I love to watch this kid, especially the way he rolls to his left. A right-handed quarterback, he seems to be more comfortable going to his left than going to his right, which is incredible when you think about it. He's a 58% passer, 1,146 yards. That's 382 a ball game. 17.1 a completion. It's not all short stuff. 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. His top receivers, Caden Lehman, 16 for 395. That's 24.7 a catch. He's the big play man, although Jaden Linneman averages 19 a catch, 18 for 343. And Jet Saldivar, 16 a catch, 14 for 232. So really a lot of big play receivers. The one possession receiver they have was Zurich. Brady was Zurich, 10 catches for 109 yards. He's fourth on the team. So anyway, let's go to the rushing leaders. As I said, they do run it pretty well when they try. Adrian Baxter, the leader, 211 total yards, 6.6 a carry, 70 a ball game. Jason Thomason, the quarterback, pretty good running quarterback, 48 yards a game on the ground, 146 total, and 6.1 per carry. So there are the numbers on Caddo Mills. Very impressive indeed.
Caddo Mills coming into this one, like we said, 3-0, taking on a Life Waxahachie team who has struggled a bit, and we'll get more into that when we come back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, Caddo Mills and Life Waxahachie getting ready for kickoff. Coming pretty soon. But, Scott, we talked about Caddo Mills just a second ago, but this Life Waxahachie team is a bit struggling to start the season.
Yeah, overall they're in their 11th year. They've had mixed results. They've made the playoffs 6 times in 11 years, but only 3 of those have been winning seasons. Their overall record is 41-17. You'd never think that a 41-73 team would make the playoffs 6 of 11 years. So, like I said, mixed results. They've never made it beyond the bi-district round in their 6 years. So it's a new program. These Life schools, there's more than one of them. This is the Waxahachie Life School. So they are a building program. They've had some success, though. So keep that in mind. They're capable. Although, if you look at their scores so far, their first game, Waco Connolly, that's a pretty strong opponent, much bigger school. They lost to them 57-6. Then Athens, a bigger school, they lost 40-7. So they were outscored 97-13 the first 2 weeks, and then had a little success last week against not nearly as good of a program in North Dallas, beat them 35-0. So they are coming off of a confidence-building victory last week. They're averaging just 16 points a game, but 206 on the ground per game is pretty good. Not much balance, only 82 through the year for a total offense of 288. They do have turnover problems. They've turned it over 7 times in 3 games. And you don't have to do the math to know that's a little over 2 turnovers in the ball game.
Right.
Colby Gramella, the quarterback, just a 41% passer, but 215 yards, 16.5 of completions, pretty good. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ground game, this is the workhorse. Cordell Berry averaging 91 yards a game on the ground. 55 carries in 3 games, 274 yards, and 5 a carry. And then Jeremy Brantley averages 63 a game and 6 yards per carry. So, again, the key tonight for life and for Caddo Mills defensively is to stop the run. We'll see how that goes early.
Well, Caddo Mills and Waxahachie getting ready to take the field and run through the tunnel. We'll take a quick break here on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Caddo Mills, we've talked about the last time we were here, we talked about it last year. Jason Thompson is the catalyst. I mean, he's been fantastic, and we talked about it going from Tyler Townley last year, one of the best 4A quarterbacks, if not the best in the state, to a quarterback who might be even better at passing the football. He's been outstanding the first 3 games of this season.
Yeah, we've seen him just once, and our next game will be October the 8th after tonight, but I'm looking forward to seeing him a second time. Love the way he rolls to the left as a right-handed quarterback and throws better going left than right. That is very unusual, and also it shows great mechanics. You have got that good mechanics to throw that well. Love these uniforms. Again, they're in their home green, very, very much South Lake Carroll looking in colors. The green jerseys, white helmets, and gray pants.
You know, in South Texas, you might call it a Southwest Dragon green. I don't know if you know that, but the southwest side of San Antonio, 6A school down there, is the Baba green, and it came here 1976, I do believe, is that kind of green came to the South Texas area. And I did a little bit of homework on that one, just so you know.
I'm in shock.
You're welcome. Getting back to Caddo Mills, though, and Jason Thomason last week, he had a picture-perfect game pretty much. 62% completion percentage, 413 yards, and 6 passing touchdowns. A school record that was. He is the real deal. He really is.
Life Waxahachie will be in their road white jerseys with red trim, red numerals. Looks like a very dark navy blue pant with white helmets. The captains at the center of the field, they have just tossed the coin. We'll give you those results. Let's see who won the toss first of all. And Caddo won the toss, it appears. But whoever won the toss has deferred till the second half, it appears. Yeah, White won the toss. They will defer. And Caddo will take the football and go right to left. Go south to north as we look on here in Caddo Mills tonight. By the way, perfect weather conditions. If you like warmth, it is warm out here, but the flag is completely pinned to the pole. There will not be a wind factor. It looks like hopefully the rest of the night.
Absolutely, and we're going to take one more quick break before the kickoff. This 4A non-district kickoff from Caddo Mills and Ed Locker Stadium. This is 92.1 FM KXEZ. FM KXEZ.
Don't forget, if you can't get us here at 92.1, you can hear us at TuneIn Radio or KXEZ.com. Just tell the out-of-town folks who can't get us at 92.1, you can hear us anywhere in the world. We do stream these broadcasts, so don't forget to tell the out-of-town folks.
Coming up next, Caddo Mills, Life Waxahachie, Ed Locker Stadium on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Just about underway here from Ed Locker Stadium in Caddo Mills. Caddo Mills coming up and wearing their green on gray uniforms, white on blue for Life Waxahachie. Waxahachie will kick off to start against Caddo Mills, and Caddo Mills coming into this game 3-0. Life Waxahachie coming in at 1-2. And it is homecoming today for the Caddo Mills Foxes.
And that'll be at halftime, it appears. Pretty good crowd. My goodness, look around this place.
This place, last time we were here, there was a ton of faithful, Caddo Mills faithful here. And
they got 2 sets of stands, and they're both full.
Well, they got the student section over here to our left of where we're sitting, and the stands are just, it's unbelievable. I love these kind of high school games, especially when everybody in town comes to watch the high school team play, the Foxes. About to get ready here from Ed Locker Stadium in Caddo Mills. The kickoff, short kick, fielded at the 30-yard line, taken to the right side across the left hash mark, and finally brought down around the 35-yard line. Good Caddo Mills and Thomason will take over right there.
Sorry about that. Good coverage from Life Waxahachie because that was a low line drive short kick and very much returnable, but he tried to cut it across the field to the other side, and that allowed the coverage to get down there and make the tackle after a short return.
Thomason will line up in the middle of the field. 2 receivers on either side of the formation.
They're having trouble with the chains, Ethan. They look like they might be tangled up over there, so they got to get those straightened out before we can play.
Or unless it could be instead of a 1st and 10, might be a 1st and 7.5.
It might be a 1st and nothing right now. But you got to have those chains working.
Jason Thomason will be the quarterback. Adrian Baxter will sit back at the running back position. Across the wide receivers, Caden Lemon, Brady Wastrick, and Jeff Saldivar. And here comes the first play from scrimmage. Thomason drops back, has a huge pocket, throws it toward the middle of the field, caught on the run at the 45, and to midfield mark. First pass on the slant route is going to be complete to Jaden Lenneman, one of the best receivers on this team.
Yeah, good job going left to right across the middle and wide open. Boy, those crossing routes, they're really hard to cover, especially if you're in a zone, a soft zone there in the middle.
Going right to left, Thomason handed to Baxter. Big hole across the 45. Makes the move, jumps over to the right side, past the 40, and falls down into Life Waxahachie territory at the 35-yard line.
Boy, 15 yards. This could be a sign of things to come tonight because Life has given up some points and yards.
1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Thomason wants it all for Lenneman. Insult. Touchdown, Caddo Mills. Jaden Lenneman had a man beat and a perfect throw from Jason Thomason.
Yeah.
Put 6 points on the board quickly, and I mean quickly, for Caddo Mills.
Deep post. He had a couple of steps on the defender, as you said, Darren Jackson. It was slightly underthrown to where Lindemann had to stop and wait for it to come down, but that's why that little cushion, that little 2-step advantage he had paid off because the defender, Jackson, was never able to recover despite the slight underthrow.
Caden Lemon in the Wildcat out to the right side. They're going to go for 2. Throws it to the back corner, and Davion Page with the grab, and the 2-point conversion is good. 11-12, less than a minute to score. 8-0 already. Caddo Mills of Life Waxahachie on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Caddo Mills, quick touchdown. It is 48 seconds off the clock, if my math is correct. In the first quarter, already 8-0.
Took him just 3 plays to go 65 yards, only 33 seconds to go 65 yards. 15-yard pass on the first play, 15-yard run on the second play, and then the third play, the 35-yard touchdown pass to Linneman. And then Linneman throws for 2 on the 2-point conversion. So 8-0. Wow. That's a quick strike.
Well, it's been been like this the first 2 games, first 2 weeks for Live Waxahachie. They've seen this before. Caddo Mills is one of those teams that can strike quickly, and they will. This one, pooch punt up to the 45-yard line. almost an onside kick, it looked like, but Waxahachie falls down on it, and Life will start right there at the 45.
It really was, it was pushed up in the air, which you could fair catch if you want to. I don't really understand just handing them field position at their own 45-yard line, but maybe it was some kind of an onside try, like you said.
The front four for Caddo Mills will be Baxter, Hall, Resendez, and Noah Luna. This one up the middle to the right side. He's got open space across midfield, and he's going to go to the 30, 20, all the way down to the 15-yard line, make it the 10. It was the big running back, Zion Smith. Smith, just a sophomore with a huge hole, pretty much untouched until he got inside the 15, and Life Waxahachie is moving quickly. Dual halfback set, another give out to Smith. Smith dancing around inside the 5, fights for that goal line, but is just short. So quickly, Life Waxahachie is moving that I didn't even give you the quarterback, Colby Germella. Germella, the junior back there. And in just 2 plays, it's a goal-to-go situation for Life Waxahachie.
Now they slow it down a little bit, look to the sideline, get the play as they're working the play clock here a little bit. 2nd and goal from the 4.
Cordell Barry on the left side. He takes it. Up the middle he goes, but there's that big push from a defensive line from Caddo Mills.
Ran right into Adrian Resendez, the defensive tackle. He stood him up, drove him back. Nice form tackle there. So it's 3rd and goal now at the 5.
3rd and goal from that 5-yard line. Already 8-0 and 2 minutes off the clock here in the first quarter from Ed Locker Stadium in Caddo Mills. They're slowing it down right now.
Very impressive the last 2 plays after that long run of 45 yards to a huge hole over right tackle. Germella now with only 1 back who is left. That's Barry in the backfield. Takes the snap, drops back, looks right, fires right, way over the head of his intended receiver. Coming out of the slot was that man, Zion Smith. They kind of had a fade route called. That's why the pass was so high, but Smith ended up so wide open. All he had to do was just throw a line drive pass, and it probably would have been a touchdown, but he got too much air under it, just like you do on a fade route in the corner of the end zone. Wrong call at the wrong time.
And that'll bring up 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. 9:35 here in the first quarter.
Looks like they're going.
Crowd getting into it here early in the first quarter. Germella in the shotgun, Barry to the left of him. The snap to him. They hand it off to Smith. Smith dancing around, fighting for the end zone, and he's short. Well short of the goal line. And a turnover on downs after a big play. A big play from Life Waxahachie and Zion Smith to put him inside the 15, inside the 10.
It was a pretty good hole initially over left guard, but it closed in a hurry, and they kept him out of the end zone. Interesting that they'd run it on 4th and goal from the 5 after the previous 2 plays got nothing. And good defensive stand after that first big run from the first play from scrimmage.
Baxter in at running back and in at quarterback, still that outstanding quarterback, Jason Thomason, and a timeout it looks like. Timeout from Life Waxahachie with 9:29 in the first quarter. An 8-0 lead for Caddo Mills. We'll take a quick timeout as well here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. 9:29 here in the first quarter. 8-0 Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. 1st and 10 from the 5-yard line. Their own 5. Pitch across to the right side. Pick sweep. Jet Saldivar getting his way across the 20, across the 25, and down near the 30-yard line. Jet Saldivar on just a jet sweep gets out there and gives Caddo Mills some room.
Yeah, what you do on a jet sweep, you send that receiver in motion across the backfield and then pitch it to him after you take the snap. And he's got a full head of steam already going. And a full head of steam from Saldivar is a lot of steam because he's very quick, and they blocked it very well around right in.
Right hash mark. Empty backfield for Thomason. He takes the snap, looks left, fires left. There's Saldivar in the flat, but in and out of his hands was an easy catch. He got his head turned around upfield before he secured it.
Little bit high, but I think Saldivar would agree the ball should have been caught.
9 minutes, just 3 minutes off the clock in the first quarter, 8-0, and already his second possession for Caddo Mills. Baxter to the right of Thomason. Takes it, drops back, looks down the field, fires down the field to the right sideline, and incomplete. Intended for the receiver, Bentley McDaniel. I haven't seen a lot of Bentley McDaniel over the past couple of games we've had, but even over the season, I haven't seen much of him.
Darren Jackson with great coverage, maybe a little bit too good of coverage. It looked like he almost tackled him when the ball arrived, but just unable to complete a pretty good pass.
Snap is high. Thomason lets it go. It runs out to the right side. He bobbled it a bit, and then finally goes out of bounds around the 40. Trying to see the exact spot. It'll be short to 37.
Which is going to bring up a 4th and about 2 if they'll ever put the ball down and move the stick. They still haven't put the ball down. I don't see a penalty marker, so I don't know what the delay is here. Or is there a penalty marker?
I don't see one.
Referee's walking this way, looking at the pass. It is offside against life. So since they came up short on the play, short of the first down, I'd take this penalty and run another second down play, wouldn't you?
Third down play, yes.
Third down, yeah.
It'd be 3rd and 5.
The 5-yard offside penalty.
So they'd have to punt it away, being in their own territory here on 4th down. So let's see what they do on this 3rd down try.
Trips to the left side from the right hash mark. Thomason lifts his leg. Again, has trouble with the snap. Takes it, fires it deep down the right sideline, and in and off of the fingertip of the intended receiver for Caddo Mills.
It was a free play. That's why they ran the streak route, because Brent Lofton, the right defensive end for life, jumped, and the flag flew. So in that situation, you just go all out, go for the downs, and almost completed again. My gosh, they are picking on Darren Jackson. He is having to cover deep on almost every bullet.
That time the intended receiver for Caddo Mills was Brady Washrick.
Give Jackson credit. I mean, once again, step for step with the receiver. He's got good speed, obviously. They're going to go for it. No, it's a first down.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line.
Oh, right.
Caddo Mills 40-yard line.
After the walk-off for the offside.
Make it the 39-yard line. Play action. To the right side again, and behind the intended receiver, which is Caden Lemon.
Forgot about the offside walk-off. Pretty good drive here that started all the way back at the 5-yard line.
8-0 to score. Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. 8:38 on the clock in the first quarter. And off to Baxter, goes up the middle, fights his way, finds his hole, gets around the 40-yard line and down around the 42-yard line.
Offensive line did a good job. Big hole. He wasn't hit until he hit the second level and then got knocked down quickly by a linebacker, forcing another 3rd down try here, 3rd and 5.
And the shotgun is Thomason. He drops back, looks right, fires right. He has Saldivar caught at the 50-yard line, across the 40, gets the ball downfield inside the 30, 20, 10, and look at Jeff Saldivar just all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Caddo Mills.
And you mentioned that a block downfield, it was thrown by Brady Wazurek, and as he turned to the corner over there away from the play, but give the receiver a lot of credit for stepping around, making a couple of people miss, and then turning on the speed down the far sideline.
8:01 on the clock. Already 14-0. This time, instead of lining up to go for 2, Caddo Mills will kick the extra point. Jonah Roop on for that action. Lemon the holder. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it is good. 15-0. 8:01 on the clock from Caddo Mills and Ed Locker Stadium. Caddo Mills with a quick lead, big lead over the Life Waxahachie Mustangs on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
Thanks again to our sponsors tonight, Marsh Brothers Electric, Ivy Air, Belfiore Spa and Salon, Arbolita's Mexican Grill, and North Texas Appliance. Now go see those friendly folks at North Texas Appliance Rockwall. They're at 1535 East I-30, just south of the service road, about a mile from the football stadium. You can go by or call 972-771-0393. North Texas Appliance, longtime sponsor of sports here on KXEZ.
15-0 the score. Onside kick attempt, bounces around. Caddo Mills looking for it, but it looks like it was wrapped up by Zane Lockhart of Life Waxahachie, and it was. And they'll take possession inside or past their 40. still in their own territory.
Well, field position has not been a problem for Life, even though they just have the one first down. Started at their 45 the first time. They're 41 this time because Caddo Mills with the short kickoff. Just pretty much handing them almost midfield.
From the 41-yard line.
Scoring drive after this play.
Corey Germella will be the quarterback. Takes the snap, hands it up the middle. There's Barry, but he stopped quickly near the line of scrimmage in that front four for Caddo Mills. Looking strong after that, giving up that big run on the first play from scrimmage.
And Carson Davis was there, as well as Hayden Wright, the linebacker. That scoring drive for Caddo, 7 plays, 95 yards. They went 95 yards in just a minute, 28 seconds, 52-yard touchdown pass to Saldivar.
Germella takes it, keeps it, no, hands it off to Barry, and this time Barry's got some positive yardage. Trying to gain a 5 on the play, make it 4 to the 45-yard line, bringing up 3rd and 6. 7:15 here in the first quarter, a 15-0 lead for Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie.
Just the second third down play for Life. They're 0 for 1. Had a 3rd and goal at the 5, then went forward on 4th and goal at the 5 and could not get it in. And Caddo going the other way now. It's a 15-0 lead here. So you got to figure they might punt it away here at their own 45 if you can force the 4th down here.
Well, there's 5 seconds on the play clock. I don't know if they'll get it off in time.
Yeah.
Germella clapping for it, wanting it. Just get it off. Quarterback play action, has the pressure, throws it across the middle, and incomplete. 4th down coming.
Well, he saw a sandwich coming. He was hit on either side after he released the ball. Now they let up a little bit on the hit. He had to figure he was going to get hit a lot harder than that after he delivered the ball. And I think that had something to do. He had to rush the pass, and it was not a good one.
There was nobody around. I couldn't even look for an intended receiver because I think he got a little jumpy, like you said.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get rid of it because he saw it coming from both sides.
Jet Saldivar will be the deep man and will receive for Caddo Mills. Here's the punt, a line drive punt, angling for the right sideline, and out of bounds it goes near the 20-yard line. And a flag back where the punter punted the ball. That punter for Life Waxahachie was Caden Mayfield.
Holding against Life in the backfield, trying to keep him off of the punter. So let's see what Caddo Mills does with this. You might ask him to punt it again because it's a really good punt.
Really
it hasn't pinned deep inside the 20, or you could just take it inside the 20.
Watching Mayfield pregame, that's what he was working on, those angle punts to the corners from the middle of the field. And right there, got his chance to do it.
They declined the penalty, so they'll take the football. They must have a lot of respect for this punter, thinking he's just going to do the same thing again. So that could be a weapon tonight for Life.
Well, right now, Thomason back out there. It was inside the 20. That punt from Mayfield, 19-yard line, 1st and 10. Caddo Mills trips out to the right side from the left hash mark. Empty backfield. No, one guy back there that's back there. They hand it to him. To the right side, has some space to sweep, gets across the 20-yard line, and not much after that. Well, he'll gain about 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, but a good job by Baxter because one of the defenders shooting in there from the secondary had a clean shot at him, Derek Armstrong, but he put a move on Armstrong. Fake like he was going to cut it up inside and then continued to go outside, and Armstrong was held. He just kind of stood there and couldn't do anything about it. Pretty good pickup on 1st down.
Sure, to the left side. They hand it to Baxter once again across the 30-yard line, across the 35. Gets the 1st down and to the 40-yard line.
Again, it's a team that only averaged about 139 a game on the ground. But to show you they just don't run it as much as they throw it, they were averaging 6 yards a carry despite the 139 a game, which says they've been pretty successful running the football. They just prefer to throw it. Remember what I said to you in the pregame. I told the listeners that this is a Light team that gives up a lot of yardage on the ground.
They really do. As a down Life Mustang is over near the 40-yard line. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout here on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
Again, don't forget, you can get us at 92.1 FM KXEZ, but if not, we stream our broadcast at TuneIn Radio and KXEZ.com. So you can hear us anywhere in the world, even if you can't get our signal at 92.1. So tell those out-of-town friends and family about our streaming.
1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Thomason Still, the whistle hasn't blown from the referee, and now it does. Trips to the left side. Baxter to the left of him. Washrick, the lone receiver to the right side. Thomason, play action, quarterback keeper. Looks to the left side, going left, and going to get bottled up around the 40-yard line behind the line of scrimmage. Bring up second and very long. One of the few losses that we've seen from Caddo Mills in the 2 games we've played.
I think he wanted to throw that initially, and there were just 2 receivers over here to the left side, and neither one of them were open, so he then tried to run with it, and that's just good defense all the way around from Life. And a loss of 3.
From the middle of the hashes, 2 receivers on either side. Thomason takes the snap, calmly drops back, fires a bullet. Lemon on the left side, but missed him. Incomplete. Will bring up 3rd and 13. 5:15, 5:17 exactly on the scoreboard here from Ed Locker Stadium. 15-0 the score. Caddo Mills over this Life Waxahachie team. 3rd and 13 from the 40-yard line. Thomason in the shotgun. Picks his leg up, puts it down, drops back, looks down the field, now fires across the middle. The ball was intended for Caden Lemon, it looked like, at the 50-yard line, but he dropped it. It was a little overthrown or thrown out in front of him, but it was a very catchable ball for the first down.
Just not a good throw by Thomason. He had plenty of time. The offensive line gave him a great pocket. He was able to survey the field, step into it. He needed the time because it was a crossing route. He had to wait for his receiver to come all the way across the field, had to step on the defender. Everything but the pass was good, and it was a little bit low, and he couldn't corral it.
Washrick, the punter for Caddo Mills, takes it in a very, very high but short punt. Backspin on it, hits at the 30, but it rolls forward inside the 20, inside the 15, and it's still rolling down to the 12-yard line. So Washrick, Brady Washrick, the second-string receiver, or the first-string receiver, gets it done inside the 12-yard line.
47 yards down at the 12. It doesn't get much better than that. So really, for the first time tonight, Life, this is their worst field position of the night so far.
5 minutes on the clock in the first quarter. 15-0, Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. And Colby Germella comes back out to lead the offense. Full halfback set with a tight end in the ball game. And this one to Barry. Barry shuffles around, breaks the tackle across the 15, down to about the 18-yard line, that is.
We don't have weights, but Barry's a big, strong kid. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, just bounced off of it like a pinball, and they finally got him down, but not before he got 6 on first down. Boy, I tell you, again, he's a load coming out of that backfield with pretty good quickness.
I mean, it looks like he's a good 5 inches taller than his quarterback down there, and Barry is just a sophomore. Cordell Barry.
Wow, he's going to get even bigger.
Dual halfback set. Germella has a man in motion. That's Dwyer. And he drops it. No, bobbled it a bit. Sweep out to the left side and hit hard. And I mean, delivering a blow with a big linebacker. I'm trying to look who it was. It was Hunter Carter who came in and delivered that hit, bringing up 3rd and 5 from the 17-yard line. 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 15-0 to score. Germella looks like he'll be in the pistol formation with Barry behind him. They're looking to get the play from the sideline.
Still plenty of time. 15, 13 on the play clock as they're ready to go.
Trips to the right side now in the shotgun, and Barry is behind him. The snap, look downfield. Here comes the pressure, throws it to his man just outside as he reached for it near the 30-yard line. And the intended receiver was Draylon Dwyer, but an incomplete pass brings up 4th and 5.
Tough throw for Germella, and it showed. He's a right-handed quarterback throwing from the left hash mark across the field the other way. And he had an open receiver, even though he's throwing into triple coverage. It looked like a little bit of a zone there, and he just could not make the connection.
Hayden Mayfield back out to punt, had a nice one his first attempt, and now we'll do this from the 16-yard line, make it the 17.
36 on his first punt. He needs a good one here to flip the field.
4th and 5. Back to receive for Caddo Mills. It's Jet Saudavar. Pressure came, and another low line drive kick to the right sideline. Bounces past midfield and out of bounds.
And a good job of directionally kicking that. In other words, he doesn't get a lot of hang time on it, but if you kick it towards the sideline, they're not going to return it anyway, and that's what he got. Although it wasn't exactly the longest kick in the world.
Well, he already saw what happened when Jet Saudavar gets the ball in space, takes it to the house, or takes it for a big play. That time kicked it away from him. 3:30 on the clock, 15-0. Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie.
Having said that, he got 35 yards out of the punt. And Caddo is starting in their own territory at 48.
48-yard line, 1st and 10. He receives the right side. Side end into the ball game. High snap. And third time that they have misconnected on that snap. Thomason and his center just throws that one away. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. That's Jacob Martin, who is the center for the Caddo Mills team. Third time that they've had trouble on those snaps already. 3:26 on the clock, 15-0. Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. 2 receivers to the right side, lone receiver, Lenneman to the left side. Here's a snap, handed off to Baxter, makes a man miss in the backfield, dancing around across the midfield mark and down just around the 49-yard line.
The quick cutting Baxter, you said dancing. He cuts left, cuts right, cuts left, finishes right. And that's what allowed him to get a few yards out of that, just stepping around defenders.
Be a gain of 4 on the play. 3rd and 6 on the 48-yard line of Life Waxahachie.
He's my favorite on Dancing with the Stars.
Well, he looks like he can be there. Trips to the right side, 2 to the left side. Empty backfield for Jason Thomason on 36. Under 3 minutes here to go in the first quarter. He drops back after he takes the snap, fires in the flat to Saldivar, and incomplete will bring up 4th and 6 from the 48-yard line. And another punting situation, it looks like, for Caddo Mills.
Neither quarterback is very sharp tonight. That's an open receiver. Now, doesn't mean he would have got the first down. In fact, he could have been tackled short of the first down even if he made the catch. But it was too tall. These quarterbacks are just a little bit off tonight so far.
Washrick back to punt for Caddo Mills, and back to receive for Life Waxahachie will be Draylon DeQuire, the slot receiver. High punt off to the 20, inside the 20, inside the 10, and another beautiful punt from Brady Washrick. My goodness, 2 in a row. Will be spotted at the 6-yard line. Life Waxahachie has not been given any favors the past 2 possessions.
Yeah, last one down at the 12, this one down at the 7, and a 41-yard punt. Last one was 47 down at the 12. So, yeah, getting distance and accuracy.
Washrick is that wide receiver. He lines up on the outside for Caddo Mills. Yeah, you can also see him on 4th down when he punts the ball away. 15-0, Caddo Mills lead. Life Waxahachie with 2:35 in the first quarter. Ramilla hands this one off to Smith, and Zion Smith bounces out to the left side, the right side. I beg your pardon, and gets just about 1 on the play, maybe 2 to the 7 or the 8-yard line.
Little misdirection in the backfield. Take the handoff left after he handed it off to the initial back to the right, and tried to run that to the short side of the field, and it never had a chance.
2nd and 8 from the 7-yard line. 15-point lead for the Foxes. And if he trips out to the right side, kind of a stacked wide receiver set near the numbers. Barry lines up to the right of Dramella, claps his hand, sends in motion to Quire. Hands it to Barry. No, it's a quarterback keeper. The option goes nowhere. Maybe a yard on the play to the 9.
Yeah, he faked the dive. It was kind of a run-pass option. Faked the dive to Barry, and he should have probably handed it off to Barry because he kept it trying to go around the right end. He never got to the end thanks to Gavin Barabbas, the sophomore defensive end who made the solo tackle.
Be 3rd and 7 from the 8-yard line. 15-0 on 3rd down. This crowd from Caddo Mills gets into it, and why wouldn't they? One of the best teams in the 4A division in this region. Carmella in a shotgun. Barry to the left of him, awaits the snap, takes it, rolls to the left side, looks downfield. He's in his own end zone, fires, and he's got a man wide open at the 22-yard line. That's DeQuire across the 30-yard line, and a big gain on 3rd down. Brings up a first down for Life Waxahachie.
Great job of rolling to his left to buy some time, and then found a wide open receiver. I mean, there wasn't anybody within 5 yards of him.
But bad news for Life Waxahachie as a flag was thrown, and procedure. Offensive, it looked like false start, and I don't know why they didn't blow it before the play even started, if it was a false start.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that might tell you how loud it was in here. They really do get into this here on 3rd down. It felt like I was in an earthquake zone there for a moment.
will take away the first down. It's half the distance to the goal. 1:07 on the clock, 15-0. Waxahachie is trailing these Caddo Mills Foxes.
5-yard penalty. 3 plays are down.
From the 4-yard line. 3rd and 12. Carmella fakes it. Naked bootleg. Stop. Has a man downfield, and the choir was open. There were Foxes around him, but had an open space, but incomplete. Brings up 4th and 12, and Waxahachie is going to punt from their own end zone.
Well-designed play on the naked bootleg, but I think he was feeling pressure. You know, anytime you're in the end zone throwing, you're going to feel pressure. Absolutely. Even if it's not there. And that play demanded a little bit more time, you know, set your feet and then fire. And he tried to do it all on the run, and this was not a good pass.
Mayfield back to punt for Waxahachie, and Jet Saldivar, after 2 punts that were for the right sideline, is standing a good 10 yards away from that sideline, hoping to get some chance to run this one back. Mayfield at the very back of his own end zone.
Interesting how he is waiting toward the Caddo sideline over here, and the solo man back for the punt while the punter is in the middle of the field. That's kind of unusual. Maybe he thought they were going to go ahead and take timeout anyway, which they did.
And a timeout on the field from Waxahachie with 51 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 15-0 to score. Caddo Mills over Life.
92.1 FM KXEZ, 95.3 KHYI. The Range are deeply rooted and invested here in North Texas. We thank you for listening and for your support. We'd love to have you as a sponsor. Call this number, 972-251-0725. Great way to reach your customers. Very affordable. Call 972-251-0725. Don't forget, we are your Metroplex home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. The Aggie footballers will retake the field tomorrow live right here on KXEZ. They'll play New Mexico, 11 a.m. kickoff, 10 o'clock pregame. All the coverage here on 92.1 FM. And it must be 3rd down. Here comes the earthquake.
Well, it's 4th down, but it is homecoming for Caddo Mills. So everybody is here from Caddo Mills, and the people on the players out there on the field waiting for Waxahachie to get set are pumping up this homecoming crowd. Saldivar, the deep man, ready to receive for Caddo Mills. The snap, running around, just getting it off with Mayfield, and fielded at the 40-yard line is Saldivar. Dances around the 35 across the 30, and a nice return after there was Waxahachie Mustangs all around him when he caught that ball.
Another nice punt from their punter. I mean, he's got a great average working. The kid is legit. And thank God if you're a Life fan, because he's been punting deep in his own territory a lot of the night. Another good field position situation here starting at the 28. That punter is Caden Mayfield, kind of a half rugby-style punt and punter, but it works out. And Jason Thomason with a 15-point lead over Waxahachie. Caddo Mills will take it from the 28. Thomason takes the snap, drops back, has a lot of time, fires for the end zone, a wide-open man, and touchdown, Caddo Mills. Now is the signal, touchdown. And Caddo Mills, Brady Washwick over there on the left side. What a great catch. First of all, he had to worry about making sure his feet were in bounds.
It was Caden Lemon.
Had to make sure his feet were in bounds because he's in the very back of the end zone. Also had to make sure he caught it because it was an over-the-shoulder catch. It was a very difficult catch. And then you had a defender trying to catch up, coming at you. So, wow. And a pretty good pass, by the way, from the quarterback, Thomason.
Best throw of the night for Thomason, who hasn't been as electric as we've seen him so far, but right there, showing you just how good he is. Root on for the extra point try. Kicks this one in the back of his center. A bad kick. It's kind of nonchalant because a couple of Mustangs from Waxahachie were coming in off the end. Either way, it's still a 3-touchdown lead because they had a 2-point conversion earlier. It's 21-0. 34 seconds, and we're still in the first quarter here from Ed Locker Stadium on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, a 21-0 lead for Caddo Mills in the first quarter with 34 seconds to go. Here in only the first quarter. Big time touchdown pass, 28-yard touchdown pass from Jason Thomason. to his big wide receiver, or his great wide receiver, Cade Lemon. And now Jonah Roof will kick off for the Foxes. Couple of deep men for the Mustangs from Life Waxahachie. It's DeQuire and Darren Jackson, I beg your pardon. Another kind of short punt kick out to the 42-yard line, make it the 38-yard line. And we talked about it, hinted on it, Scott, multiple times about that kind of possession game on the kickoff right here. Is there any sort of positive thing that you can get from that other than maybe trying to get the ball back?
You're not going to have a long kick return. There's a positive.
That's true.
I mean, if you see on film during the week that they have great return people and they do a good job with it, then there's a reason. But, I mean, does that happen every week? Do you know how many kickoff returns there are for touchdowns in a season in this whole state? Not many.
Quarterback keeper on the option, and Carmela's hit. Ball comes loose. Caddo Mills looks like they have it. And they do. It was an option out to the left side. A pitch man from Carmela tried to get it to Zion Smith, and he just fumbled. And Caddo Mills has another possession in the first quarter with 25 seconds left in the first quarter. 21-0, a big lead over Life.
Smith had a chance to recover. It fell flat on it. The ball came squirming out, and so he should have recovered his own fumble.
Nothing going well for Waxahachie right now.
And another first quarter possession. We still have 25 seconds left.
Trips out to the left side from the right hash mark.
10th possession of the first quarter.
Thomason throws it in the flat on the swing pattern to Baxter, who gets past the 25, inside the 20, and finally brought down around the 15-yard line. Big time play and a first down for Caddo Mills. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. This will be the last play of the quarter. Hand off to Baxter, up the middle, dances around inside the 10, and finally brought down inside the 5-yard line as the quarter will come to an end. 21-0, Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. And there it is. I was waiting for the final buzzer, and yes, there it is. End of the first quarter. We're headed to quarter number 2 from Ed Locker Stadium. Big lead for Caddo Mills, a 3-touchdown lead, that is. 21-0 over Life Waxahachie on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. 21-0, Caddo Mills over the Life Waxahachie Mustangs. And this offense has been quite unstoppable. I mean, they've had to punt a couple of times, and that's just about it. But,
again, our sponsors, Marsh Brothers Electric, Ivy Air, Belfiore Spa and Salon, Arbolitas Mexican Grill, and North Texas Appliance, thanks to our sponsors.
And the first play of the second quarter will come from the 4-yard line. First and 10 for Caddo Mills, going left to right. Knocking on the door for another touchdown. Thomason in the shotgun, Baxter to the left of him. Jaden Lenneman off the lone receiver to the left side, trips to the right. Well, in fact, it's tight end in the ball game. That is Davion Page. Thomason to the lone receiver, Lenneman, the slant route, complete touchdown, Caddo Mills.
Not an easy catch for Lenneman. It was a little bit behind him, but he's able to reach back and make the catch. He was in front of the defender, so he didn't have any contact from there. But he did make a pretty tough catch on the ball behind him.
It took 3 plays for Caddo Mills to score in the first quarter. In the beginning of the first quarter, it takes them 1 here in the second, and it's 27-0 pending this extra point try. This time, Jonah Reed's kick is no good. It looked good, but it went off the upright, so it's going to stay 27-0 with 11:56 to go in the first half. Big time lead over Life Waxahachie for Caddo Mills on 92.1 FM KXEZ. .92.1 FM at KXEZ. Ethan Herrera with Scott Powell. Thank you for joining us tonight.
North Texas Appliance, longtime sponsor here on KXEZ. That's where I got my washer and dryer, refrigerator, freezer. Encourage you to do the same. Wonderful experience from the friendly expertise of the in-house staff with a friendly delivery and installation. That's North Texas Appliance. Rockwall, that's where I got my appliances. Go get yours.
Caddo Mills to kick off right here. Draylon DeQuire and Darren Jackson to receive for Life Waxahachie. Jonah Roop, the kicker. Again, a short sky kick out to the right side. Fielded on the run at the 32-yard line. Makes a move past the 30-yard line, and a big swarm of foxes, or a herd of foxes, pack of foxes. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I think it's a pack, but
brings them down. I think the return man right there for Life Waxahachie was Clinton Reese.
Might be a pride.
Pride of foxes. Foxhole.
Well, lions are a pride.
You're right. And foxes and lions kind of share the same type of features. Long hair, long tails, four legs, something like that.
There's our wildlife update for the night.
This is an educational show, if anything.
Just don't count on a good education.
Two-pack set for Life Waxahachie. Gramella fakes the handoff, the option on the left side, and reverse. Now to DeQuire. DeQuire's got some space around the 45-yard line, but the ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground once again. And I don't know if Caddo Mills got this one.
It's funny, the Caddo Mills player says we got it, but he's pointing the wrong way. He's pointing forward Life. In other words, he's like a Life player saying, we've got it. We're going this way. He's pointing the wrong direction.
Indeed, the referees break up the scrum and another turnover and takeaway for Caddo Mills.
Great job on the strip. I can't tell you who stripped the ball away, but that was a good strip tackle, reaching in there and pulling the ball out while making the tackle.
It was a reverse. It was first a read option,
right,
and then reversed around, end around, and there was a good play. There was wide open space with a one tackler to beat for a big gain, knocked the ball loose. And now Thomason takes it, hands it to Baxter, who fights up the middle, dances around across the 40-yard line, close to the first down mark. He may be a yard short, and it's 27-0, Caddo Mills over a Life Waxahachie team who is trying at this point. 11:20 on the clock in the second quarter.
Baxter's one of those rushers I like to call a hippish rusher. In other words, it's just constant cutting right and left, and then he make a great dancer, and he just weaves his way through the secondary.
Ball out to the left side. They have a man, and that's McDaniels to the left side on the sideline. Quick snap pass from Thomason. Gain of about 15 on the play, down to the 20-yard line. Nice quick play. I think that was Bentley McDaniels, again, the sophomore, second reception of the game for him.
Again, as you said, we haven't seen a lot of him. He's having a big night today.
A minute off the clock in the second. Thomason having a nice game. Trips out to the right side. On the left side, the lone receiver, Linneman. Hands this one to Baxter, who again dances around, cuts from left to right, and is down after a gain of maybe half a yard or no gain at all, bringing up 2nd and 10.
Well, he wouldn't have made the semifinals with that dance because Life did a great job of corralling him at the line of scrimmage. He's done most of his damage tonight by getting through the line and getting to the second, third levels. That time he never got through the defensive line and was stopped for no gain.
Now from the left hash mark, Josh Ivy now is the split back on the right side of the formation. Two receivers to the left side. The lone one to the right is Brady Washrick. Jason Thomason, play action, fires to Jet Saldivar in the slot on a hitch route across outside the numbers, dancing away, jumping for the end zone, and no, he stepped out of bounds, says the head referee.
At about the 7-yard line. Boy, Saldivar, his strength, and we've seen it more than once tonight, is that quick stop route. He goes 5 yards down, stops on a dime, and then turns and gets the pass. And then he's got the great quickness to go from 0 to 50 in a hurry and pick up the extra yardage after catch.
Thomason hands it off to the right side. Big sweep. Adrian Baxter, who dives for the goal line. If he's short, he is by a yard, half a yard maybe. Indeed, it'll be 2nd and goal from the 1. Caddo Mills moving quickly. Thomason, Baxter again. Up the middle he goes, and touchdown, Caddo Mills. For the 5th time already in this one. A touchdown for the Foxes. Just a straight give. Baxter got him there. And now he runs it in, and it's 33-0 with 9:47 on the clock, pending this extra point.
6-play, 48-yard drive.
Jonah Roop has missed his last 2 extra point attempts. Caden Lemon, the holder. Good snap. Hold is down. Kick is up. And this one is through. It's 34-0. Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie on homecoming night for the Foxes. 9:47 on the clock in the second. This is 92.1 FM, KXEZ. 92.1 FM, the KXEZ, big-time lead for Caddo Mills in their homecoming game, 34-0.
Again, we are your Metroplex home for the Texas Aggies football team. They'll host New Mexico tomorrow at Kyle Field. Kickoff at 11, pregame at 10, full coverage right here on 92.1. Don't forget, we also have 5 Caddo Mills games. This one, our second one. Our next one will be October the 8th when they hit the road to take on Sunnyvale. That'll be a big district game. Kickoff at 7:30. Our pregame will start at 7:15 as we are your radio home for the Caddo Mills Foxes.
DeQuire and Jackson back. This time a kick out to the 25-yard line, dancing around and finally brought down around the 30. On that return for Life Waxahachie was Elijah Aravalo. He'll be down to the 32. I do believe. Make it the 31. First and 10. 9:42 on the clock. 34-0. Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. Trips to the left side for Germella. Berry to the right of him in the backfield. That running back, the big sophomore running back, he takes the snap. Turns it up the middle and nowhere. Going nowhere, maybe half a yard. Bringing up second and long.
Brantley there on the carry.
9:25 on the clock, 34-0, Caddo Mills.
Well, it's all being done up front. The defensive line, very few times the backs are even getting to the second level. When the defensive line's making most of the tackles, that's about as well as you can play it defensively.
Adrian Baxter, Jacob Hall, Adrian Resendez, and Noah Luna, that front four for the Foxes. Double halfback set for Germella. Hands this one off to the left side, the right side, and now pushed away. And again, nowhere to go for Berry.
Generally speaking, it's the job of the defensive line to hold up the blockers and allow the linebackers to step up and make the tackle. Well, that's not happening tonight. The defensive line is taking care of the job themselves. Another example right there, they cannot get to the second level. Of course, most of these runs are between the tackles. They really need to, if you're live, you need to mix it up a little bit, try and go wide a little bit.
8:30 on the clock in the second, 3rd and 7 from the 34-yard line. 2 receivers on either side of formation. Try to get him on a hard count real quick is Germella. Now he looks to the sideline for a play from his head coach. Checks his
4 on the play clock.
He checks his watch, his playbook on his wrist. Takes the snap, drops back. Germella has pressure coming. Here comes the Foxes, and down he goes. Huge play by that front four again for Caddo Mills.
The leader there was 64, Adrian Resendez. But really, anybody could have gotten that tackle because they had him surrounded. Didn't even have time to plant the back foot. Although looking downfield, as I was looking in the secondary, nobody was open anyway, so he couldn't unload it quickly. He needed time for something to uncover, and he never had it.
That brings up a big 4th down, 4th and 15. Thinking a long 4th down, maybe not as big, but 7:30 in the second quarter, 34-0. Caddo Mills leads Life Waxahachie.
The way this is going, Anthony, we may get a running clock in the second half.
Caden Mayfield punts this one away to the Jets. Saldivar thought about picking it up as it hit the 45-yard line, and then fakes like he's going to pick it up right in front of one of the Mustangs and down near the 41, and Jason Thomason will head back out there.
Look at a little contact in the backfield there. They look like they slightly hit the punter, but he may have been blocked into the punter, and no flag from the referee despite 2 green shirts all over the punter back there. Boy, give this punter credit for life. He's been consistent all night. Just think how much better Caddo Mills how much better their field position would be if Life did not have a pretty good punter. I mean, they'd be spending the whole first half in live territory, at least to start.
We're going to get
with a 34-0 lead.
Right, we're going to get a bunch formation and I formation. Thomason under center for the first time, tossed out to Baxter. Up the middle he goes, has a lead block, and nice gain of about 5 on the play across the 45 to the 46. First time we've seen Jason Thomason under center. He's also got Hayden Reese back there as the fullback. Reese, that outstanding all-district linebacker, running fullback for this Caddo Mills offense. Under center again, toss to Baxter. Follows Reese right up the middle. Again, falling forward to the midfield mark. There's a flag on the play, though. Under 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Flag dropped by the head linesman on the far side. It's an illegal substitution against Light.
And now those extra linemen and tight ends come off the field as the spread offense comes back out for Caddo Mills, the more familiar sight. 34-0, Caddo Mills over Life. 2nd and 4 from the 46-yard line. I'm not sure who the referee is talking to.
Baxter's carry gets it across for the Caddo Mills first down.
It will be a first down across the midfield mark. 1st and 10 from the 49. Empty backfield, quarterback draw. There goes Thomason. Thomason across the 40-yard line.
On the quarterback draw,
And he got the first down for Caddo Mills. He had a good game last week running the football. I say good, but it was absolutely fantastic.
He had a leading rusher on the team coming in.
He had 114 yards last week against Canton. And he can run the football, that's for sure.
Showed the really good quickness that he has that time.
Trips to the left side for Thomason. 2 receivers to the right. Snap throw to the right side and a flat underthrown intended for that receiver, Jet Saldivar, who has been fantastic all game long. No, it was actually McDaniel who the intended receiver was. 6:18 here in the second quarter. 34-0 is the score. Caddo Mills over Live Waxahachie.
At halftime, we'll send it back for some country music with Ethan Brooks, and then we'll have the second half for you.
2 receivers on either side of the formation. Thomason in the shotgun. Hands this one off up the middle. And going nowhere for Caddo Mills. Actually a loss of 2 on the play.
loss of a couple on the play. First down.
That running back in, a new running back for Caddo Mills. Gavin Clayton. Trips to the left side. They try to hard count for a second. 3rd and 12 from the 40-yard line. Thompson.
With a big lead like this, you got to figure they probably might punt it away on 4th down unless they're close to the first down.
Takes the snap, drops back, looks left, rushes out of the pocket to the right side calmly. Thomason across the middle, has his receiver Lenneman across the 20-yard line, and a nice play to get out of pressure, and a beautiful throw to Caden Lenneman.
What I like,
Jaden Lenneman.
What I like, yeah, it's easy to mix him up. I like the way he took something off that. You know, he's such a good passer, rolling to his left as a right-handed quarterback. That time rolling to his right. He could have easily have thrown that way too hard and made it uncatchable. He took a lot off of it, showed a nice touch.
Thomason in the flat tries to get it to Lenneman again, but incomplete.
Nice drive here. Started back at the 39. Actually, one of the longest drives of the night as they're just kind of grinding it out here with the big lead.
5:20 to go in the second quarter. 34-0. Thomason drops back. He's into the back corner of the end zone for his man who jumps up, bobbled, and incomplete. An incomplete pass intended for Jaden Lenneman once again. His third target in a row.
Almost a deep fade if there is such a thing. Boy, what an arm Thomason showed there. He also showed a lot of confidence. He threw that into very strong double coverage in the corner of the end zone and almost got an acrobatic catch out of it.
They put it right where his receiver the only one who could possibly catch it.
To be that accurate and throw it that far, that high in the air is amazing.
2 receivers on either side. Thomason gets the snap and drops back. This one fires to the end zone. Back of the end zone, incomplete. Intended for the receiver, Brady Washrick, but it'll bring up third down, make it fourth down and 10.
Pretty good coverage that time. That same kid, number 5, who's made all the plays at cornerback tonight, Darren Jackson, we've called his name. Pretty good coverage. Now, having said that, the receiver had a little bit of a height advantage. That's one thing you have on Jackson usually is a height advantage. He was able to get a hand on him. It was a little bit too tall on the deep post to the back of the end zone.
And they're going to go for it. Empty backfield for Caddo Mills. On the right, hash mark, left to right. Strip to the left side, 2 receivers to the right side. Thomason trying to get the play from Coach Cody Crane on that right sideline.
5 on the play clock. Got to hurry here. Now they're going to take the time.
Indeed, there is a timeout.
Why don't we keep it right here? We don't want to miss anything.
5:07 on the clock here in the second quarter. Big second quarter, big first half, 34-0 for Caddo Mills.
Don't forget, we're also the home for the Rowlett Eagles, 6A Rowlett Eagles all season long. Next week, they'll play their home opener against Saxby. That'll be for first place. Huge game in the Garland District next week. Kickoff at 7. Our pregame coverage starts at 6:45. Rowlett football here on 92.1 FM. KXEZ, and don't forget, you can get all of our games. If you can't get them at 92.1, go and get our streams at TuneIn Radio and also KXEZ.com. That way, out-of-town friends and family, let them know they can hear us anywhere in the world if you can't get 92.1.
Also, check us out on YouTube after the fact. The games will be all the games will be archived on YouTube. Done a great job by our fantastic producer, Ethan Brooks, who's back in the KXEZ studio.
Yes, thanks to Ethan. And he'll have some country music for you. He'll play DJ coming up at halftime.
5:07 in the second quarter, 34-0, big-time lead for Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. Trips to the left side, 2 receivers to the right for Jason Thomason and these Foxes. Thomason awaiting the snap, lifts his leg up, takes the snap, looks left across the middle, steps up in the pocket, fires across the middle and caught near the first down mark, caught by Cade Lemon. And I don't know if he got the first down or not. They're going to say, no, he didn't. He was a yard short. But a nice play by Jason Thomason to step up in the pocket, evade pressure, and throw a nice pass across the middle for Caden Lemon across the formation. And under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, 34-0 the score, as Life Waxahachie will take the ball and the possession. Ball is going to be placed on the 17-yard line. Gramella back in at quarterback, empty backfield. No, a receiver to the left of him. Hands it off to Barry, and Barry dances around but actually powers his way through a couple of tackles, and a flag comes flying in at the end of the play after a 5-yard gain.
Good job. He was hit early by Resendez. Adrian's had a big game tonight on that defensive line. Kind of made the first hit and then held on as the big Barry drug him a couple extra yards until he got help from his teammate. It's a face mask on the call and against Caddo Mills, so this is going to give a first down by penalty to Life. So you get the yardage on the gain, which is a couple, and then tack on 15. So let's see where they put this football down. Going to put it down at the 39 of Life.
.449 on the clock here in the second quarter. Gramella hands it to Barry, and Barry fights his way across the middle and drives all the way down to the 50-yard line right off that tackle.
Good job of going wide with the big man, the big running back, as they sent him around left end. Cut it up as he reached the end. It wasn't really a sweep. It was just a left tackle run. And got a nice gain and another first down. Best drive of the night, really, tonight for Life.
Absolutely. It was Jeremy Brantley on the carry, and he stays in the backfield next to Gramella to his left. 2 receivers on either side, stacked to the left side. Gramella hands this one off to Barry. No, makes that Brantley.
Yeah, it's Brantley.
And 2-yard gain. Make it 2nd and 8.
Good
With
job.
4:15 to go in the second.
Good job to hang on to the tackle because Brantley tried to spin out of it, and they held on for the tackle. Just a 2-yard gain. Could have been more.
Now Barry will come in for Brantley. For this 2nd and 8 coming up, under 4 minutes to go in the first half.
You know, for Life, if anything, they're giving their defense really the best rest they've had all night because it's been 1, 2, 3 and out most of the night, or a turnover all night for Life.
Back-to-back turnovers on back-to-back possessions for Life Waxahachie. Gramella claps his hands. The man in motion. He hands it to Barry up the middle. Untouched across the 40-yard line. Gets the first down and brought down just shy of the 35 to the 36. Inside Caddo Mills territory.
Thank goodness Hunter Carter came up out of the secondary and made that shoestring tackle. Because if Carter didn't make it, that could have gone for even bigger yardage right up the middle of the field.
3:30 in the second quarter. Life Waxahachie moving the football for just about the first time tonight. Gramella in the shotgun. Barry to the right of him, a tight end in the ball game. In motion is Smith. Hand it to Barry. Again, kind of a push forward and still on his feet. Gain of a good 4, maybe 5 on the play. Close to it with 3:10 on the clock.
Pure strength from Barry. They hit him early, and he still was able to bowl his way forward and get a little bit out of that. 4 yards when they should have stopped him for nothing.
3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Gramella and his offense looks to the sideline for their play. Beautiful night here in Caddo Mills and in Ed Locker Stadium. I mean, this thing is filled to the brim.
About a 5/8 quarter moon on a clear night, a beautiful evening.
Double halfback set. Gramella hands it to Smith, and Zion dances around across the line of scrimmage, but going to be down right there for a gain of nothing on the play.
Very much 4-down territory, 3rd and 6 coming here. 2:30, clock starting to become a little bit of a factor. Life has just one timeout left here in the first half.
I mean, look at the atmosphere around here. There's snow cones from kids here in the stands. There's
I just wonder why they didn't bring me one.
People are just getting excited for this Caddo Mills team, who we've talked about has been fantastic over the past year and a half. Gramella in the shotgun. 2 minutes to go, 2:07 on the clock. Here in the second quarter, he drops back, has some time, steps up, fires it, intercepted at the 25-yard line. Takes it across the 35, down near the 40, and a big-time play defensively, and that was Hayden Reese, the all-district linebacker for Caddo Mills.
Yeah, I don't think they ever saw Reese. He was in about halfway between the receiver and the line, and again, he didn't. No way he saw him, or would have never thrown it to him. As they celebrate over here on the sideline, hold up the belt, which they give to the player who makes the defensive turnover. Looks like a belt, doesn't it?
Absolutely. WWE style over there. I like that. So John Cena. 1:55 in the second quarter.
John who?
You don't?
I know who.
Whatever. I don't know. You just get it.
I love playing old man disease.
Trips to the right side. Thomason rolls out to the right. Looks downfield. Pump fakes. Now throws it into traffic. And incomplete. Almost a spectacular catch from Cade Lemon, it looked like, but incomplete. 2nd and 10.
He's no great kabuki, but he's not bad.
That's old school right there.
Way before your parents were born, probably.
Just a tad. 1:48 and counting here in the second quarter. 34-0. The score, Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. A big-time lead from the left hash mark. 2 receivers on either side. Baxter to the left to Thomason. He takes the snap. Looks left. Plenty of time. Now rushed out of the pocket. Off to the right side. Has some space. Going to tuck it and run across the 40, the 45, and close to midfield. And that first down mark, we'll see if he got it or if they marked him short. Waiting for the call.
Yeah, it's going to be real close.
And they give it to him. First down, Caddo Mills. 1:39 on the clock here in the second. 34-0. It'll be from the 49-yard line, just in to Life Waxahachie territory. Left to right, trips to the left. Right hash mark. Thomason picks his leg up, puts it down, takes the snap, drops back, looks left, fires for a deep man. Saldivar, and through his hands, but flags come flying in at the end.
I thought the coverage was a little bit too good. Kind of reached across his body as the ball arrived. You know, the official who was right on top of it over there on the far side threw no flag. But sometimes the further away you are, the better view you had, and the back judge threw the flag, and I think it's a good call. Be 15 yards, by the way, not a spot foul way downfield.
1:32 on the clock as the referees come together and talk about it.
Pretty sure that's going to be the call.
It looked like pretty good coverage, like you said.
Yeah, they got to make sure it was catchable, though, too.
Jet Saldivar was that intended receiver who had a fantastic game.
So they're having a long talk about it. They may call this off.
We've seen a number of flags being picked up, especially in the past few weeks.
Didn't you think it was catchable or not?
I thought it was catchable 100%.
They're picking it up. So I'm thinking they thought it wasn't catchable. Or maybe the guy who's standing right on top of the play overruled the back judge. Because he had the best view of it, not the back judge.
Right, the back judge is the one who threw the flag, and the head linesman over there on the left side of the field was right on top of it. Or not the head linesman, but the field judge.
Yes.
And so it is just an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 from the 49-yard line. 1:32 on the clock here in the second quarter. 34-0. Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie, and a score right here will 100%, it seems like, put this game out of reach.
Oh, I think it's out of reach right now.
Thomason drops back, looks down the field, plenty of time. Man across the middle, that's Washrick. He caught it at the 40-yard line, gets the first down, and falls forward to about the 36-yard line, and Caddo Mills is moving quickly with 1:25 on the clock.
And remember, they still have 2 timeouts. They haven't had to burn one yet.
2 receivers on either side of the formation. Thomason, low snap, hands it up the middle. There he goes. It's across the 40-yard line. That was Clayton. Gavin Clayton, the senior, running the ball for Caddo Mills.
And a quick 13 for Clayton. Remember, even though it's a 34-0 lead, this gives them a chance to work on their 2-minute offense.
Absolutely. 34-0, approaching a minute to go. Rolling out to the left side is Thomason. Looks to the left side, heads for the sideline, tucks it and runs. Gets a couple of yards, but out of bounds he goes. Again, Thomason can run the football. He's the dual threat. He had 100-plus yards last week, and the second leading rusher for Caddo Mills coming into today. 34-0 the score, Caddo Mills. Life Waxahachie comes here to Ed Locker Stadium, and, well, that's what they run into. The Fox team who's been outstanding. Trips to the right side. Thomason takes the snap, drops back, throws to the right, now back to the left side, finds a hole in the pocket, looks downfield, tucks in and run across the 20-yard line and out of bounds around the 15. Waiting for the official spot. They do get the first down with 48 seconds to go, and it is at the 15 exactly.
Great job by Thomason to keep the pocket moving. He's just in constant motion. You rarely see Jason drop back and just sit in the pocket. He loves to be on the move, either right or left.
Trips to the right side. They hands it to Clayton. He bounces from left to right, goes, has some space, across the 10-yard line and down inside the 5, finding the end zone. No, he's just short of the end zone.
Made a late dive for it, hoping to stick that ball across, and came up short at the 1. And here they go quickly looking for the 6.
Thomason, quick pass, has a man wide open, but flags come flying in.
Yeah, they just couldn't get, they tried to go too quickly there, Ethan, and they never got set.
He had Caden Lemon over there wide open.
The sad thing is that if you mark off 5 here, you go from the 1 to the 6, and that makes a huge difference. You still have the end zone as the extra defender, and you're having to scrimmage from the 6 instead of the 1, which takes away your quarterback sneak and all those other things you can do.
29 seconds to go here in the first half. 34-0 Caddo Mills. And 2 timeouts.
Yeah, remember, those 2 timeouts are huge with only 29 seconds.
And the shotgun is Thomason. He's got to split back into the ball game, and that is Davion Page, the junior. 2 receivers to the left side. It's Clayton to the left. Referee still talking to the sideline, and a timeout, it looks like, will be called. Indeed, a timeout by Caddo Mills with 29 seconds to go in the second quarter at the 6-yard line.
Why don't we keep it right here? Reminds you, we'll go back for some country music at a halftime.
34-0, Caddo Mills with a big lead over Life.
Remember, KHYI, KXEZ, 95.3, 92.1. We're deeply invested in North Texas. Thank you for your support and listening. We'd love to have you as a sponsor. Call this number, 972-251-0725. It's very affordable. It's a great way to reach your customers. Sponsor football here on KXEZ. Call 972-251-0725.
Coming out of the timeout with 29 seconds left. Big lead for Caddo Mills and Jason Thomason. In the shotgun to the right of him is Gavin Clayton. Brady Washrick, the lone receiver, to the right side. And again, Davion Page, that tight end to the left. They hand it up the middle. Moving out is Peyton. It's Clayton, and Clayton fighting for the end zone at that goal line, and he's got it. Touchdown, Caddo Mills. Right up the middle off the tackle, or off the guard, I beg your pardon, and a touchdown for Caddo Mills. Another score, and it's 40-0, pending this extra point with 24 seconds to go in the first half.
Had a little trouble with some of these extra points, missing 2 of them. So good practice here despite the one-sided game.
Jonah Root on for the kick try. Low snap, hold is down, kick is up, and a nice job by that holder, Caden Lemon, to get that one down. As that one's up and good. 41-0, 24 seconds to go in the first half. Caddo Mills over Live Waxahachie on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM KXEZ, 41-0. Caddo Mills scores again off a 6-yard run from Gavin Clayton. And there, the route, has been in session, but it is in full swing right now. Life has no answer for Waxahachie. As another kickoff for Caddo Mills. I should say Life has no answer for Caddo Mills. That makes more sense.
Not much life in life tonight. Be interesting to see if they run the clock some in the second half, right? Both coaches have to agree to that, especially the team that's way down.
Squib kick all the way out to the 12-yard line.
21-yard
line. As Darren Jackson just fell on it. And with 21 seconds to go here in the second quarter, all the fans in the stands headed for the concession stand. Try to get some food before the crowd gets too busy down there. And don't forget, it is homecoming night for these Caddo Mills Foxes. So it'll be a little bit of pageantry during the halftime show. 41-0, lot to celebrate. Caddo Mills and the Foxes well in control of this ball game.
Late insertion of a lineman, actually the center. Kind of hard to snap the ball without the center, and they almost got caught by the play clock because of it. It's going to be hard to start a play without the center.
Alejandro Sanchez barely got in there and snapped the ball, and Barry takes the run up the middle.
You can't just walk up there as the quarterback and grab the ball and run the play. It's got to be snapped.
Absolutely, and that is the final play of the first half. Mercifully, the clock buzzes. And it is 41-0 Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. And we'll see what's in store for the second half. A huge first half. And we'll send it back to Ethan Brooks in the KXEZ studio for that good old-fashioned classic country music here on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Start of the second half. Caddo Mills 41, Life Waxahachie 0. A big blowout already. We'll see what happens here coming up as the kickoff was skied out to the 25-yard line and out of bounds near the 36. And Life Waxahachie, since they won the toss and deferred to the second half, will take over. Gramella in the shotgun, trips to the right side, rolls to the right side, looks downfield, has time, throws it to the sideline, and incomplete. Intended for the receiver, Zion Smith, who's done some running back game and some wide receiver out there for Waxahachie. As many of you know, this Caddo Mills offense is absolutely potent. They can get going in a hurry, and they have showed that tonight. And the defense, then, giving up 0 points in one half. Heck of a showing for both sides of the ball. Vermella takes the handoff, rolls out to the right side, naked bootleg, throws it to a flat, and nearly picked off. Coming in to break that one up was Lance Johnson for Caddo Mills, and it's third down.
They love those naked bootlegs where he fakes it one way and rolls out the other way without any protection or any blocking in the backfield. That's what it means by a naked bootleg. Had an open receiver. Great job by Johnson to step in at the last second. Almost a pick six. That would have been an easy touchdown the other way if he could have held on to it.
11:44, just 15 seconds, 16 seconds off the clock here in the third quarter. Stacked in the box are the Waxahachie Mustangs. Dropping back is Gramella, fires toward the middle of the field, Pass broken up, incomplete, intended for the receiver, Zion Smith, and it was Cohen Park coming in to make that play.
Yeah, another good defensive play. Closure on the pass. At the very end, Park steps in and knocks it away, almost picked it off. Not as good of a pass that time as the last one.
Sorry, Scott. Secondary has been fantastic for the Caddo Mills Fox. They've really gotten out there and really pressured these receivers out in the defensive backfield. A great job defensively. Jaden Mayfield on to punt. This one blocked by Caddo Mills. Mayfield's going to fall on it, but the ball is still kicking around. Picked up at the 10 and brought down at the 5-yard line. I couldn't see who blocked it, but coming in to make that play and falling on the ball was big number 40, Jake Mitchell, the senior for Caddo Mills.
Yeah, really, the punter had no chance. The rush was all over him quickly. He tried kind of a rugby-style punt, but kicked it right into one of the rushers. Really, it wasn't as much of a block. It was just a really bad low kick right into the midsection of a rushing Fox.
And Jason Thomason, fantastic field position. 5-yard line, 1st and goal. 11:30 on the clock in the third. Trips to the left side. Play action. Thomason fires to the right side and incomplete. Intended for the receiver, Brady Washrick, who's had a nice game today.
And that same DB who's made a ton of plays tonight, Darren Jackson, that time came up. You know, he was out of position to begin with. The receiver had the inside position, but he stepped in front as the ball arrived and knocked it away. Jackson's been on an island all night long and has survived a lot of them.
Two receivers on either side of the formation now. Trips to the right side. Baxter. Adrian Baxter to the left of Jason Thompson. Thompson rolls to the left side. Has some space. Looks in the flat. Tries to tuck it. Now reverses his field to the right side. Gets out of pressure. Fights his way to the goal line. Is he going to get it? He does. Touchdown, Caddo Mills and Jason Thompson. Limpers from 5 yards out.
Well, quickness was the key as he rolled it to the left, and as you said, completely reversed his field. And then he had a couple of kids defensively that had an angle at him that he beat to the pylon just with pure speed.
Jonah Roop on for the extra point try. Missed a couple. One was blocked and then, or actually kicked low, and the other hit off the upright. This one is true. So it's 48-0. Less than a minute to score. 45 seconds into the third quarter for Caddo Mills, and they're up 48-0 on Live Waxahachie on 92.1 FM KXEZ. FM to KXEZ. Ethan Herrera with Scott Powell from Ed Locker Stadium. 48-0. Just a abnormal, a ridiculous lead for Caddo Mills. It's been one of those games on homecoming for the Foxes. One of those games you like, not one of those ones you're going to think about later on and worry and be upset about. They're going to have a good time in their homecoming weekend. 11:15 on the clock in the third quarter. 48-0, like I've said. Jonah Roop to kick off for the Foxes. Short kick. Coming to get it is Jackson, fielding it on the run at the 25-yard line and barrels his way across the 35 near the 40 to about the 49-yard line. And Live Waxahachie will get another chance right now.
Again, got to wonder if they're going to start kind of running that clock during non-obvious times. So far, no indication of it.
Together, we've only seen one game like that we've broadcasted, but it happens a lot, especially in non-district play.
Remember, I've been at this for 40 years. I've seen it a few times.
Shotgun for Godella. Hands this one off to Smith. No, quarterback keeper. It was Barry actually doing the lead blocking for Gramella. And he loses a yard on the play.
No loss. Carson Davis on the back.
Minute off the clock here in the third quarter. 48-0 the score. And again, it is homecoming, so there is a ton of crowd out here from everywhere, from students to parents to friends to family, friends to broadcasters. Dual halfback set for Gabella. And the Waxahachie Mustangs hand off to Zion Smith off the right tackle. Finds a hole across the 45 and near midfield. Zion Smith, who had a huge run on his first run of the ball game, all the way to the 5-yard line from about the opposite 30, and hasn't done much since.
Good tackle. Sam Cuevas got him down around the ankle, so that might have gone for even bigger yardage. Yeah, they've had quite a bit of offense, but mostly between the 30s. They really haven't been able to sustain anything.
Trips to the right side. Here comes Barry, and Barry gets stopped up near the line of scrimmage at about the 49, 48-yard line. 2 minutes off the clock in the third. Barabbas in to make that tackle. Mentioned it multiple times in the past two Caddo Mills broadcasts, but they've been undefeated in the regular season, 10-0 last year. Won 2 more in the playoffs, so made them 12-0. Lost to Gilmer in the third round, make them 12-1, and they've won the first 3 this time, 15-1 record in the last 16 games. Isn't bad. Sweep out to the left side. Here comes Smith. Lead blocker is Barry, and this time gaining a yard on the play to midfield mark. Bringing up 3rd and 9. Make it 4th down. No, I was right the first time. 3rd down and 9. Approaching 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Life Waxahachie, like you said at the beginning of the broadcast, got a very new program. 11 years. They've absolutely struggled so far, but maybe they can be on the lookout. They're 1-2 on this season. Dropping back is Gormella. Here comes the pressure. Screen pass out to the right side. Mishandled by Barry. An incomplete pass. Cornell Barry had it, but there was a man barreling down. I don't know if he had the first down, but it brings up 4th and 8 exactly.
Yeah, it looks like Caddo Mills kind of had that read well. I'm not sure it would have gone far even if he had held on, but he just flat dropped the ball. Seems to be a little bit behind him. And the most valuable player tonight for Life Waxahachie has been the punter. We're going to see him one more time.
Well, the punter, Caden Mayfield's going to need an ice staff after this one. Jeff Saldivar, the deep man for Caddo Mills. Caden, kind of that rugby-style punter. Mayfield gets this one away, angling to the right sideline. Hits down around the 30-yard line. Takes a bounce across the 25 and going to roll to the 21-yard line. A nice punt for Caden Mayfield in the 21.
Part of his effectiveness is his directionalness. He's really good at sending it toward one of the sidelines and having it skip up the sideline without going out of bounds. He's very good at that spin.
So with 8:32 on the clock in the third quarter, 48-0, Caddo Mills over Life.
So if you'll think about it, all the punts he has had tonight, how many have had any return at all? I can't remember a one.
I can't think of one, no.
Looks like the same offense here.
Jason Thomason from the left hash mark. Doubles wide receiver set. Baxter with it. Dancing around off to the right side. That's actually the running back Hunter Carter, the senior.
So that'd be a substitute in there.
We've seen a couple of substitutes at the running back position. Adrian Baxter is the starter, and then coming in is Gavin Clayton, and now we see Hunter Carter.
Lemon and Saldivar in there at receiver.
Another handoff to Carter, and Carter first caught down initially by the backside, and he dragged him for a couple of yards near the first down mark past the 30.
A flag right at the tackle. This could be some kind of a face mask.
Right now, the defense, of course. Right now, the ball is spotted right exactly at the first down mark. But we'll wait to see what the call is by the referee. With 8:01 on the clock.
Well, they're talking it over. Let's just see what happens. It really had to be a face mask. There's not much else it could be. You got 3 guys tackling the ball carrier, and that's where the flag came.
Again, a big lead for Caddo Mills. A gargantuan lead for Caddo Mills. 48-0. 8:01 on the clock in the third quarter from Ed Locker Stadium in Caddo Mills on this Friday night. Thank you for joining us.
There's your face mask tool.
On the Mustang. Good for a Caddo Mills first down.
And the Caddo Mills Foxes will get the first down after it was pretty close after that run, getting it anyway. But 15 yards in the right direction go the Foxes to the 45-yard line. 4 minutes off the clock in the third quarter. Thomason in at quarterback.
Say that's at least 3 first downs by penalty against Life. And they're still marking it off.
Something else happened, it looked like.
Yeah, something tells you got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty also, because it's going to be 30 yards in penalty.
Right before the snap was going to happen, they snapped it again and moved up another 15 yards. Now inside Life Waxahachie territory to the 40-yard line. All the starters for Caddo Mills in the game except the running back. Actually, Baxter is in there as well, so all the starters, and a flag comes in right when Thomason was going to get the snap. And now moving the other way are the Foxes. 5-yard penalty on that false start. Moves them back to the 45-yard line, still in Life Waxahachie territory. Again, 48-0, Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. First and 15. Thomason in the shotgun, 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Adrian Baxter to the left of him, right smack dab in the middle of the field. Lifts his leg, takes the snap, looks to the right side, fires on the right sideline. Has a man, it's Washrick, a lot of hand-hand contact, and Washrick goes down and misses, or incomplete, and Washrick goes down. It looks like he's was hit in a tender area down there.
Flag on the play.
But there's a flag. This looks like it will be in the realm of defensive interference. Waiting for the call for the referee, talking it out. Now the ball spotted back at the 45-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 15 before this penalty, and now they mark it off. 15 yards will be the call. So it'll be a first down for Caddo Mills all the way to the 30-yard line of Life Waxahachie. Thomason put that ball slightly underthrown toward the middle of the field and couldn't quite get it outside. So it was a hard catch for Brady Washrick, but a positive gain after the defensive pass interference.
More penalty yardage against Life here. That's like 45 yards in penalties on this one possession.
I mean, they haven't really ran a complete play. Caddo Mills, Thomason in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it to Baxter, has a hole to the right side, close to the 35-yard line. They get to 25. He goes down, actually, officially at the 26. A couple of yards gain on the play, bringing up 2nd and short. They make 2nd and mid to gain. 7:30 and counting in the third quarter. Trips out to the left side from the right hash mark. Left to right. Washrick, the lone receiver to the right side. Saldivar, Lemon, and Lenneman on the left. Thomason rolls out to the left side. Out of pressure. Tucks it and runs across the 20 and gets down near the 15-yard line. Looks like it's either the 16 or 17. He finally goes down, but gets the first down for Caddo Mills.
Great job by Thomason to feel the pressure. It was coming directly from his back, and he could just feel it. It's like he had eyes in the back of his head, so he just started sprinting forward and got the first down.
7:15 on the clock here in the third quarter. 48-0, the score for Caddo Mills over Life. And now kind of a wildcat formation as Lemon in at quarterback, hands it to Baxter, up the middle he goes. A couple of yards gain on that one to the 15. And 1 yard gain to bring up 2nd and 9.
Handoff tackled by David Vaughn. Third down on the play.
Lemon staying out there as the quarterback for Caddo Mills. Gavin Clayton, the running back. And also Josh Ivy in as the split back to the right of the formation. Lemon lifts his leg, takes the snap, hands it off again to Clayton up the middle, but nowhere he goes. No gain. It'll be 39.
Yeah, just simple dive handoffs. You might now see him fake it into the line. He's got pretty good quickness, and then keep it around the end and try and get a big play. they'll need it here on 3rd and 10. Could be 4-down territory, though.
Correct.
Might be a good chance to work on your field goal team.
Right, lost the one on the play. 3rd and 10, trips to the right side. Lemon rolls out to the right side. In the flat, he looks to the end zone. Will tuck it and run. Passes space across the 10-yard line, or near the 10-yard line, rather. And he's short of the yard to gain.
So what do you do here? You maybe practice a field goal here? Or
Absolutely.
It's not a real lengthy one. It'd be just about 27 yards.
Especially a week out, maybe a couple weeks out from district. Want to work on that kind of stuff. In a blowout, and Jonah Roop is out there.
Ball on the right hash, good angle for right-footed kicker. Just 27 yards.
Caden Lemon will hold. Jonah Roop the kick. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. A beautiful kick right down the middle. Jonah Roop with 3 on the board and passes the half-century mark for Caddo Mills. 51-0. The Foxes over Life Waxahachie. The Mustangs with 5:17 in the third quarter. This is 92.1 FM KXEZ. 92.1 FM KXEZ, 5:17 in the third quarter. 51, yes, 51-0. Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. Another score. Actually, that was a field goal. It is a score. Jonah Roop puts it up for Caddo Mills, and now he'll kick off for the Foxes. Again, we can't stress it enough how good this Caddo Mills team has been in the past 2 seasons. Going from one great quarterback to another. It looks like Jonah Roop will kick this one off traditionally, and he does. Back to the end zone and the goal line, fielded by Draylon DeQuire at the 5-yard line. Makes the man miss, has a lead block, gets past the 15-yard line. Still on his feet near the 20-yard line. He'll be stopped just short of there at the 19th. 5:07 on the clock in the third, 51-0.
Yeah, we got some people throwing here on the Caddo sideline. Maybe a new quarterback getting ready to check in.
Well, we saw Caden Lemon have a few plays at the end of the last drive. Was wondering, well, we didn't see the backup Draven Haney out there, but next time the Caddo Mills offense takes the field, he might be the person who leads the charge.
Lemon is, he is much more valuable as a receiver. You'd like to see a backup quarterback come in.
Cordell Berry takes the handoff right up the middle, a gain of about 3 on the play. Actually, a gain of 5 officially. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 24-yard line. 4:45 in the third quarter to go. Again, this is Caddo Mills homecoming week and homecoming game.
Stands are a little bit emptier after halftime. It's still a pretty good crowd here.
Smith with a handoff at the dual halfback set. Gets a few yards close to the first down mark at the 29. The yard to gain is the 30.
Thanks to our sponsors tonight, Marsh Brothers Electric, Ivy Air, Belfiore Spa and Salon, Arbolito's Mexican Grill, and North Texas Appliance. Thanks to those folks.
Actually, they'll now call it a first down for Life Waxahachie. So a nice first down run from Zion Smith makes it 1st and 10 from the 29. Handoff to Barry to the right side, powers his way through that front line of Caddo Mills, gains a couple of yards to make up 2nd and long.
But as usual, as it's been all night, when they try to run between the tackles, the defensive line is doing the job. They're making most of the tackles as they did right there. One of the few times they've gotten 4 yards on first down tonight.
2nd and 6 from the 20, make it the 34-yard line with 3:40 to go in the third quarter. Verdella hands it off. Quarterback keeper goes to the right side, and again, that defensive line for Caddo Mills is right there. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play to the 35-yard line.
Gain of a couple.
We'll bring up 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5.
Third down for the visitors.
51-0. Caddo Mills leads Life Waxahachie on this Friday night. It's a beautiful Friday night at that. Very cool, not much wind. It's very nice out here. Two receivers on either side. Gradilla takes the snap, looks left, fires left. Has a man out of the backfield in the flat across the 40-yard line. Close to the first down, and it is a first down on the reception and run was Jeremy Brantley.
Good job by Brantley to make the catch. He did not have the first down when he made the catch, but he eluded the charging defender who had a shot at him, stepped around him, and got an extra yard plus the first down.
First and 10 from the 41-yard line.
Pretty good drive here. Yeah, again, they've had their moments. They've driven the ball on occasion tonight. It just everything stalls when they get within 20 and 30-yard line.
Trips to the right side. They hand it off to Brantley. Gardella does. And a gain of a few on the play, close to the 45-yard line. May get the 44.
Actually, they've rarely gotten to the 30. Now, usually it's stalled about the 40 of Caddo Mills, maybe midfield. They've gotten yardage, and it's not a case of it's just they can't sustain anything.
Gain of 3 on that last play. 2nd and 7. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter of play from Ed Locker Stadium. Stack trips to the right side of the formation. On the left hash mark, Gradilla rolls out that way. Out of pressure, evades a tackler. Fires downfield with a sideline past the 50 and incomplete in and out of the hands of Zion Smith. That'll bring up 3rd and 7. Stops the clock at 1:49 in the third. Oh man, and one of the offensive linemen for Live Waxahachie just bent over and threw up. Well, he let out a little bit of something from the face mask. Quite a bit actually, but he's still in there. That's the left guard. Wow. Should I tell the parents who it is so they know? Trips to the right side. From the left hash mark, Gardella drops back. Pump fakes, fires right. Here comes pressure, and down he goes. A sack for Caddo Mills.
Well, that time the quarterback needed eyes in the back of his head. Gavin Barabbas, who's had a great game, the sophomore, bearing down. And I swear to you, the quarterback never saw him, and he chased him a good 3 to 5 yards in that offensive backfield and finally ran him down.
Huge loss on the play. Sends them back to their own 34-yard line.
And another punt.
Caden Mayfield. Jet Saldivar is now near the numbers on the opposite sideline. Short line drive kick, bounces at the 42, and another good hop from Caden Mayfield will pin them inside their own 30.
Interesting, the return man Saldivar actually went, he always punts it to his right. So Saldivar went over to that hash mark, expecting it. It came right toward him, but it was so short he never had a chance to field it. Had to let it take several hops and come to rest at the 29.
And that
it's kind of the ugliest, most effective punting technique I've ever seen.
Right.
He gets the job done, but he gets 2.8 on the scale of 1 to 10.
Well, there is a new quarterback out for Caddo Mills with a 51-point lead with a minute to go in the third quarter. That's the junior, Draven Haney. He's showing an empty backfield. Trips to the left side, and a timeout. A timeout for Caddo Mills with 59 seconds to go. Actually, it'll be a minute to put that second back out on there. 51-0 Caddo Mills over Live Waxahachie.
Go see the friendly folks at North Texas Appliance Rockwall. Don't forget about their scratch and dent appliances. Sometimes they're hard to find, but the scratches and dents can be purchased at reduced prices. Also, the first quality of appliances come at good prices. North Texas Appliance Rockwall. They're 1535 East I-30, or you can call 972-771-0393. And don't forget, 95.3 The Race, 92.1 KXEZ. Very much invested in North Texas. We thank you for your support. Write this phone number down, 972-251-0725. We'd love to have you as a sponsor. Again, 972-251-0725.
Well, whistles come out on that play. The referee was looking at Draven Haney, who doesn't get a whole lot of time in terms of play. I mean, I'm sure he does after the blowout, but he was going to snap the ball before the whistle was blown from the referee. Start the play, and then delay of game is called on him. That'll push him back 5 yards. 57 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter. First and 15 from the 25-yard line. Haney missed-snapped. The ball is low, and he couldn't hold on to it. And, yes, Live Waxahachie will take over inside the 25 of Caddo Mills. 52 seconds in the third quarter.
Their best chance tonight to put some points on the board.
Not sure how good their field goal unit is, but it may seem like it might be in field goal range.
We have no idea how their place kickers are because they haven't used one tonight.
52 seconds in the third, 51-0, Caddo Mills over Live Waxahachie, and they stack that box. Two running backs on either side of Gardella. They hand it up the middle. No, the ball is on the ground.
Quarterback fell on it, though. Actually, he's living the good life because it fell right at his feet, so he just dropped straight down on it after the bad exchange with the running back. Not sure whose fault it was. It might have been shared by the QB and the RB.
Looked like it was one of those read plays that he wasn't quite sure. He didn't make up his mind in time.
Hesitancy on the handoff, you mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Zion Smith.
Kind of like you at the soup kitchen.
Oh, absolutely. I'm terrible at making up my mind. I don't even know what's going on over there. Tomato, chicken noodle. Zion Smith to the right side after the handoff makes the man miss and hit hard by a pack of foxes near the 20-yard line.
Yeah, they tried to go wide to the short side, and that sideline becomes an extra defender. Never had a chance. A good, hard, slinging tackle, slinging him to the ground with Josh Ivey, sophomore linebacker. That's going to do it for 3 today.
51-0 at the end of the third, heading to the final quarter here from Caddo Mills. They have a huge lead over Live Waxahachie on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. 51-0 the score. Caddo Mills over Live Waxahachie. Fourth quarter we go. A big-time blowout on homecoming night for the Foxes. Live Waxahachie got a turnover inside the opposing the Fox 25. The best chance to score is right now. Jeremy Brantley to the right of Gardella. He keeps it reversed out to the left side. He tosses it out to Draylon DeQuire. Close to the first down mark. Did he get it? That's the question, and the referee
Real close. I think it was right at it, Ethan.
It is really close. The line judge coming out there to make the decision.
I think we had a penalty marker. This is coming back anyway.
On that 3rd and 8 play from the 19-yard line.
Holding offense.
Push him back 10 yards. More from the spot of the foul. From the 19 to the 30-yard line. They get the 29. 11:46 here in the fourth quarter. Gardella in a shotgun. Brantley to the left of him. Man in motion across. That's Smith left to right. He drops back. Gardella fires this one to the end zone. He's got a wide open man in the end zone, and he missed him. Draylon DeQuire was a decent pass, and DeQuire couldn't hang on in the middle of the end zone.
As you said, wide open, nobody close, a little breakdown in the coverage there. It was not a perfect pass, it was there, but he had to try and make an over-the-shoulder catch and just could not. Had a little zip on it, too. Not an easy play, though, in the back of the end zone.
Definitely the best chance to score for Live Waxahachie. Gardella in the shotgun. Zion right to left in motion. Drops back. Gardella out to the left sideline and incomplete, well over his intended receiver. And that'll bring up a fourth down. 4th and 17 from the 30.
And I think they'll go for it here. It's out of field goal range. Probably.
Although there's a flag on the play in the back.
Another one. I'd love for the officials to maybe have those flags for dinner. I'm getting kind of tired of them. The score is 51-0. Unless it's pretty flagrant, why don't we hold on to those flags for a couple of minutes for the first time today? I mean, it seems like every play is at a flag.
Absolutely.
There can't be that many penalties.
Well, that penalty put 15 yards in the favor of Life Waxahachie with the first down. First and 10 from the 15. Hand off to Brantley, up the middle. Francis around, untouched afterwards into the end zone. Touchdown, Life Waxahachie, and the shutout is no more. 6 points for the Mustangs. They came all this way. Finally get on the board with a score. 11:24 on the clock in the fourth. And the Mustangs find Pater, and hitting onto the field late is the place kicker. I mean, he hasn't been used all game long. Yeah, so there's no way we could see him. There's no sign of him out there. Or is there?
They may not have one. Somebody needs to get on the field. I can tell you that they're short a man, I think. Now they're going to have to burn a timeout.
Once again, the Caddo Athletic Group would like to thank you.
We are your home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. The Aggies will return home tomorrow. Play New Mexico at Channel Field. Kickoff at 11. Pregame starts at 10 o'clock. Right here on 92.1. We're also your home for the Rowlett Eagles in Class 6A. They'll have their home opener 1 week from tonight. We'll have it for you. 7 o'clock kickoff. 6:30 or 6:45 pregame here on KXEZ. Ethan and I will bring that to you. Our next Caddo Mills game will be 3 weeks from tonight at Sunnyvale. That'll be a big district game there.
Absolutely.
7:30 kickoff, 7:15 pregame, as we have 5 scheduled regular season games for Caddo Mills before the playoffs.
So here comes the field goal unit, the extra point unit for Life Waxahachie. The kicker for Life will be Diego Zuniga, as Cordello will be the holder. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, it's blocked and tipped, but it bounces in over the upright, so it's good.
Wasn't pretty, but it just limped across after the partial block.
That makes it 51-7 with 11:24 in the fourth on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Caddo Mills 51, and Life Waxahachie finally gets on the board with 11:24 in the fourth as they put on 7 points, 51-7 the score. Ethan Herrera with Scott Powell from Ed Locker Stadium. This is 92.1 FM KXEZ. We thank you for joining us tonight. Zuniga's kick off to the right side, and a diving attempt to catch it will be down near the 40-yard line. That was Davion Page.
Got a flag almost in midfield. I believe that's the penalty marker. Nope, that's the tee. The kicker kicked the tee a pretty good way.
And, you know, that tee was an old traditional tee, the orange one with the 3 prongs. They don't actually use those anymore. The black one's kind of a oval-looking shape in the middle. That's the one that they use. That one was an old-school one from Life Waxahachie.
I thought it looked familiar.
Doubles wide receiver set. Haney hands this one off. Up the middle it goes to Gavin Barabbas, who's done a lot of good work on the defensive end, now getting a shot on the O.
That one might be in the T Hall of Fame, huh?
Right there. Well, you would know. It's right. A minute off the clock in the fourth, 51-7. 2nd and 3 from the 39-yard line. Haney in it, quarterback on the left hash mark. Here comes the blitz. Hands it off to Barabbas, who makes a man miss across the 45-yard line and across the 50, but the ball was loose. Ball is loose, and Life Waxahachie gets the ball.
One of the few mistakes tonight for Caddo Mills.
So the unit, the second unit for Caddo Mills, not quite as effective. Another turnover for them, and right past the midfield mark at the 49-yard line. Life Waxahachie will take over. And off the left side, that Barry, powers his way for a gain of about 10 on the play. One of the better runs we've seen for Cordell Barry. the things I like about these kind of 4A smaller schools are that games like this, homecoming, everybody in town gets right around, everybody gets excited about it. You can tell parents, family and friends, students, they're having the time of their lives. Another handoff to Cordell Berry. Up the middle he goes on that first down run from the 39-yard line. Gain of about 5 on the play, maybe 4, bringing up second and long. I mean, Scott, you remember when you were in high school and it was homecoming and everybody in town would go to the games, and it just felt like it was just a magical time, especially as a student in high school, freshman through senior year. I mean, if you weren't playing football at the time.
Interesting, they have their homecoming in the non-district play, right, which I think it's always smart to have, you know, your weakest opponent as your homecoming opponent. A lot of coaches have given that choice. They do it that way.
From the 35-yard line, Gardella breaks down, throws his ball away, and then threw it backwards. The ball is lined, picked up at the 50.
They're going to say it's dead. I heard whistles all over the field. I think they're going to say it is dead.
The referee was all over it, and when he threw that ball, didn't throw any flags, didn't throw a hat or anything, but he just stared it down. It was picked up, and when they did pick it up, you're right, whistles came in and ruled it an incomplete catch or pass. Almost close to grounding, wouldn't you say? I mean, he didn't get too out of the pocket. But either way, like you said,
good point. It's about time to eat those flags.
Exactly. And now a flag does come out on the field.
Oh, no.
I spoke it into existence. That's my fault. I'll take the credit for that one. Or the
now, see, there's a great example of a call you could have let go.
Right.
It didn't hurt a thing. The whistle blew early, killed the play anyway, so why worry about it?
Right.
I mean, at this point of the game, 51-7, only make a call that just has to be made. You know, a player that leaves 3 seconds early at the line of scrimmage, you know, just obvious thing.
Right. Well, that takes them back 5 yards. It's 3rd and 11. And Gardella hands this one off. Again, it's Barry who fights his way for a nice gain on the play, a gain of 11, maybe 10, just short of that line to gain, which is the 30.
You know, it's hard to believe it's only 10 o'clock. Game's only been 2.5 hours. The amount of penalties we've had at least 10 for each team. It feels like it's been 4 hours out here. In other words, the officials, you know, they just kind of, you know, let them play a little bit.
Exactly. Let the boys play. Dual halfback set. Gardella in the shotgun. Hands it off to Brantley. Rolls around to the left side. Makes the man miss. And a nice gain. They get the first down. And it was actually Cordell Berry. First down for Life Waxahachie, approaching 9 minutes to go in this one. 51-7 the score. Dual halfback set for Gardella and Life Waxahachie. And off to Berry once again. Up the middle, dances around. Gain of about 4 or 5 on the play. We'll bring up second and mid. 8:40 to go. Caddo Mills and Coach Cody Crane have emptied the benches on both sides. We've seen that on the offensive end. Now we see it kind of on the defensive end. Not a huge roster for Life Waxahachie, so their starters are still in the ball game.
Yeah, it's a good point. There's only about 10 people on the sideline over there in uniform. Caddo Mills, on the other hand, has probably 20 on their sideline.
Barry runs this one up the middle and a gain of 2 on the play.
Maybe more than that, actually.
Approaching 8 minutes to go. 51-7 the score on homecoming night for Caddo Mills.
Mercifully, that clock running under 8 minutes.
Was this what homecoming was like when you went to high school back in the 90s?
Well, I went to private school. Had 30 people in my graduating class. Am I starting to answer your question?
Not really. Quarterback keeper, ball is on the ground, and Gardella falls on it after a big-time hit in the backfield.
Small. Back then, Trinity Christian was a much smaller school than it is now, as the 30 in the graduating class would tell you. So, you know, there weren't a lot of people there.
I was lucky enough to go to a 4A school when 4A was the biggest, a 5A school when 5A was the biggest, and then 6A.
I will say this, we have the only Tom Landry Stadium that I know of. There might be one more maybe in his hometown.
Oh, yeah. Zuniga on for the field goal kick, and it's good.
His
Nice
daughter
play.
his daughter graduated 2 years before I did at Trinity Christian.
Really?
Yeah.
Something I
So
didn't
there's
know.
a fact you didn't know, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's true. I do know a lot about you, but I didn't know that. Diego Zuniga on the 3-point try, I catch the field goal, makes it 51-10 with 6:58 to go in the fourth. Caddo Mills still with a huge lead over Waxahachie on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
Once again, our sponsors tonight, Marsh Brothers Electric, Ivy Air, Belfiore Spa and Salon, Arbolitas Mexican Grill, and North Texas Appliance. Here's the kickoff.
Zuniga kicks this one off to Jet Saldivar near the 15-yard line. Ball's on the ground. Another fumble and picked up. Run all the way back on the kickoff. That was Zane Lockhart. Ball was loose. Jet Saldivar danced around. Ball came out, and Lockhart picked it up and ran it back for a touchdown for Waxahachie.
Insignificant to the final, to the winning team, but it wasn't long ago when Caddo Mills had a shutout working, and all of a sudden now they've been up 16 points.
Absolutely. Zuniga on for the extra point try.
Gives a little life to life.
And a little bit to Coach Cody Crane to work on during the week.
Coaches love to have something to complain about.
Zuniga puts this one up and puts this one in. 51-17, 6:47 to go in the fourth quarter.
North Texas Appliance, go see those friendly folks. They're at 1535 East I-30, just south of the football stadium in Rockwall. You can go by or call 972-771-0393. North Texas Appliance, longtime sponsor of football here on KXEZ. Let's take a timeout. Back with the kickoff after this on KXEZ.
.91 FM, KXEZ, 51-17 the score here in Caddo Mills. Caddo Mills over Waxahachie. Kickoff from Zuniga is up, fielded at the 30-yard line, taken up the field. Davion Page with that across the 40-yard line and across the 45 and out of bounds finally near the midfield mark. 6:40 on the clock, 51-17. And right at the 50-yard line, Caddo Mills will take over. We'll see Draven Haynes back out there as the quarterback for Caddo Mills. Or will we?
Is that a new quarterback?
It's the old quarterback.
Wow.
Jason Thomason back into the game.
I guess Coach is tired of the fumbles. Huh?
Thomason takes it, hands it off to the right side. Right side, that is. Hunter Carter takes it around the right side and sweeps it all the way right to the opposite sideline in a gain of about 5 yard on play.
Yeah, it just tells me I think Coach Crane might be tired of those fumbles.
Well, all the starting receivers are back into the game. Linneman, Saldivar, Lemon, and Washrick.
Very unusual with 6 minutes left with a 34-point lead. But I think that may have something to do with it. They made some mistakes with the backups in there.
He doesn't like seeing that. Trip to the left side, right hash mark, right to left. Thomason, play action. Fires. He's got Cade Linneman caught at the 40-yard line and wrestled down with the first down at the 35. You're right. I mean, right off of air, we saw all the team coming together, and a lot of mistakes happened right in a row. They were huddled around Coach Cody Crane on a knee. Maybe he was kind of upset with them or trying to say some words. We see the first unit back out there, aside from the running back Adrian Baxter.
That would explain the knees and all that, and that huddle over here we saw a moment ago.
Two receivers on either side of the formation. Saldivar in motion right to left. Play action. They throw it to Saldivar, and the ball is underthrown badly. The only bad pass we've seen from Jason Thomason to Jet Saldivar. And incomplete will bring up 2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line. 51-17 the score with 5.5 minutes to go in this one. Caddo Mills with a huge lead over Life. Davian Page, the tight end in the ball game. Two receivers to the right side, one to the left. That's Caden Linneman. Thomason fires to Linneman on the left side. Got to the 25-yard line, has the space, 15-10, and touchdown, Caddo Mills.
Good speed by Linneman. He had a couple of kids who had a chance to catch him at good angles on him, and he just broke down those angles with good quickness.
And just like that, we saw that second unit struggling on offense, and a couple of plays later, now Jason Thomason has another touchdown pass in this game, and 6 points go on the board for the Caddo Mills Foxes. 5:24 on the clock. Jonah Roop on for the extra point try. Good hold. Good kick. And it is good. 58 Raptors to 17 with 5:24 left on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. A score from Jason Thomason. Out to Jaden Lemon. Makes it 58 to 17. 5:24 on the clock in the fourth quarter. Huge blowout on homecoming night for Caddo Mills. Jonah Roop on to kick for the Foxes. DeQuire and Jackson back to receive for Waxahachie. And a fake kick. Now they kick it out to the left side, and it was fielded with a foot out of bounds by James Hicks. So a flag will come out on the play.
What do you mean by the fake kick? Well, one guy threatened to kick it and then pulled up, and then another guy did kick it. A little unusual with a 41-point lead. Maybe they're practicing for the future. Yeah.
Working on some things. Always good.
And maybe you try an onside kickoff of that in the future when you need it.
Right. And now, since the ball was out at the 31-yard line, it's a 5-yard walk-off. It'll be spotted at the 39. They get the 34. From the 29 to the 34. 5:22 on the clock in the fourth quarter. 58-17, Caddo Mills over Life Waxahachie. Gardella in the shotgun. Low snap, hands out to Zion Smith. Evades a tackle and is gaining 1 yard on the play, right to the 35-yard line. Now, Scott, I don't, this is only my second year covering high school football. How many district opponents, how many district games usually are there? Are there 5 or are there more?
Well, I mean, it varies from district to district. There's really no way to answer that.
Okay.
Because every district varies in size.
Well, because I was looking at...
Garland has more than most because they have so many schools in their district.
Now, is it sometimes will district teams always play each other every single year? Or is it more like, you know what I mean? Like, will everybody play each other is my question.
There's no divisioning or zoning within a district.
Okay, gotcha.
Garland has 8 schools, so they have 7 district games. That's high.
Right.
In answer to your question, 7 is a lot.
Okay.
Most teams will play 4 to 6.
Mainly because I'm looking at Caddo Mills, and they only have 5 district games this year. Is that more of the normal side?
Yeah. It's more than having 8 in your district like Garland ISD does.
Jeremy Brantley on the carry on 3rd down and 11. Gains a few on the play.
3 non-district games is a little unusual.
Right.
4 to 5 non-district games is much more normal in answer to your question.
Okay, because there is I think this is District 4, Division 2, 6, Region 6, or you know what I mean, Area 6, whatever you want to call it, 4A6, and it has 6 teams in the district. And I was looking at the schedule. 5 district games to me seemed a little low. Only half your games being district games for Caddo Mills, but you're telling me that that's more of the normal side.
Well, there really is no normal. I mean, but 8 schools in a district is a lot.
On the run fielded, the punt was by JoJo Garcia, and he breaks loose. And JoJo Garcia down to the 30-yard line.
There has been years in West Texas through the years. I'm a little older than you, so many years West Texas has had 2 district games.
Oh, really?
And then some years they've had 9 district games.
That's crazy.
So, but that's West Texas. You know, the distance between the towns. But you know, the only thing I can say is that 8 schools, 7 district games is a little above the norm. What's normal beyond that? There's really no way to answer that question.
Right. 3:12 on the clock, 58-17. Caddo Mills will come back out. Excuse me. Yes, they will. And Draven Haney will come out as the quarterback after Jason Thomason had a run at it for one drive. Haney takes the snap, hands it off to the right side, off the guard, and a couple of yards on the play on that run. New running back in. So we'll see the exact number who went out there. It was Gage Bradley, the junior. Haney in the shotgun from the 46-yard line, 2nd and 5. Bradley again off the tackle, left side, near the left hash, close to the first down mark, which is the 40. But he gets to the 42, makes it 3rd and short with 2.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Just running the clock out here at Ed Locker. Haney hands it off once again to Bradley to the right side. He gets the first down and a couple of more yards to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 from there. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Mercifully, that clock is winding down for Life Waxahachie.
Mercifully.
Under 2 minutes to go, 58-17. Caddo Mills scored on the first 3 plays of the game and haven't looked back. Haney, another handoff to Bradley, up the middle across the 35, down to the 30. Gage Bradley, the junior.
Early in this game, they scored quickly and often, very short, long drives, and, showed early on that they were the better team, and they just kind of coasted ever since.
Caddo Mills has been dominant as of late. They showed again tonight. Trips to the right side for Haney. Haney takes the snap, naked out to the right side across the 25, dives forward ahead to the 24-yard line, and another first down for Caddo Mills. And 1:15 to go. And a whole new unit looks like it's coming out on the field. Second unit comes out for Caddo Mills.
It's a little unusual. Usually you do it in pieces.
And now the entire first unit comes out and looks like they're going to go in victory formation.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a big stat guy, but Jason Thomason will lose some yards on this kneel down, won't he?
Yeah, for every kneel down, it'll be a -2 or 3. Wherever he kneels, this will be a -6.
Maybe now
he drops
it
a -7.
Yeah, -8, like you said.
Yeah,
and, wouldn't you keep your backup quarterback? I mean, just to get a little bit more stats at the end of the season.
You say that, and yet they had some fumbles with the second team out
there. You're right.
And then the coach got mad and put the first team back out there.
Under 30 seconds to go, which has been
Let's remind you of the weekend coming up here. A&M tomorrow, 12 o'clock kickoff, 11 o'clock kickoff in the morning. 10 o'clock pregame right here on 92.1. We are your Metroplex home for the Texas Aggies as they play host to New Mexico. We'll be back next Friday night with Rowlett and Saxey. Big showdown there in the Garland District. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff next Friday night, 7 days from now, 6:45 pregame, and our next Caddo Mills game 3 weeks from tonight against Sunnyvale on October the 8th. That'll be a huge district showdown there. 7:30 kickoff, 7:15 pregame. Come back with us. Enjoyed it, Ethan.
Final score, 58-17. Yeah, it's good. Like I told you before, I like coming out here and watching this Caddo Mills offense because, man, they fire quick and they fire often. Absolutely amazing game from Jason Thomason, from all 4 wide receivers for them, Lenneman, Saudivar, Lemon, and from Washrick. Defense played outstanding, 58-17 from Ed Locker Stadium. And homecoming night for Caddo Mills for Scott Powell. For Ethan Brooks back in the KXEZ studio, I'm Ethan Herrera wishing you good luck and good night.